All right, today we're talking about film, specifically my favorite budget black and white film, and it actually might be my favorite black and white film overall. What's happening, everyone? It's Scott here, and that film is Ultrafine Extreme. Today we're going to be talking about the 100 ISO and 400 ISO in 120 format. I shot a couple of rolls of this recently in my Pentax 645, which I've done a video on. If you guys want to have a look at that, I'll link it below. This is the best medium format camera if you want to get into medium format film photography. The best place to start, right here, Pentax 645. Now let's talk about Ultrafine Extreme. So you'll notice from the packaging, it's pretty plain, and that's sort of one of my issues with this film is how poorly it's marketed and branded for such a good film. Now, it's sold by Photo Warehouse out of California, and it is really, really inexpensive compared to other black and white film stocks, especially if you live in America. Now, I live in Canada, so for me, it's actually not that affordable to shoot this film. Luckily, I live right by the border, a 15-minute drive from the Canada-America border, and we have a mailbox just across the line that I can get stuff shipped to, and it's usually this, because $10 shipping instead of $90 shipping, and the mailbox doesn't really cost us anything unless we use it, which is, I think, a couple bucks every time we get a package shipped there. So the math works out for me. Now, this film, it's made in the EU, and the printing on the box reminds me a lot of Ilford. So I believe it is probably made by Harman Technologies. And I don't think it's a repackage or a rebrand. I think this is its own emulsion. Maybe I'm wrong. It could be rebranded HP5, but I don't think so. It's got, there's a fluff in here. It's got its own sort of unique characteristics from HP5, but it's a really good film. So let's quickly talk about the price of this film. So starting with the 100 ISO 120 format film, you can get a bulk roll of this stuff, 100 feet, for $38.95. Those are American dollars. Or you can get a regular 120 roll, pre-rolled, this guy right here. So I think it's 15 exposures in a 645 camera for $3.79. The more you buy, the cheaper it gets. For the 400 ISO, you are looking at $39.95 for a 100-foot roll. And $3.79 for a single pre-rolled roll in 120 format. It is also available in 35 millimeter. Both of them are. It's $2.99 per roll for the 400 ISO, and it's very exciting for me to look at my phone while we're talking. That's for a 24 exposure roll, and it is $3.09 for a 24 exposure roll. Of the 100 ISO. It's also available in 12 exposure rolls, 36 exposure rolls, bulk rolls. It's fantastic. You can get a 20 count box of the 35 millimeter for $60. I'll put the website down below. It's ultrafineonline.com, Photo Warehouse in California. They also sell some Kodak black and white cinema film like XX 5222. It's just a great place to get film from if you're in the United States of America. Now, the name, Ultrafine Extreme. I don't know what's extreme about it. I can't figure it out. There's nothing extreme about it except for maybe the low price. I don't know. Ultrafine makes sense because the grain on it is fantastically fine. It's nice and sharp. There's a motorcycle going by. Busy road out there. It's got really good contrast. It's just a beautiful black and white film. To my eye, it's the perfectly balanced black and white film. Not too much contrast, not too washed out. The grain is just right. It's like, yeah, it's exactly what I want in a black and white film. And I'm eternally grateful to Andrew from Danae and Andrew for mentioning this film in one of his videos. So I picked some up a while ago and absolutely fell in love with it. Fantastic film, and you really just can't beat the price. Now, I don't know why they don't market this stuff better. Like the packaging is very, very plain. It's kind of boring, and I don't think that they really care. I think this film is used primarily for educational purposes, but I don't see how that can be true anymore because there's not a ton of film photography education happening in this day and age. So I kind of feel like they're missing an opportunity with this film to give it a bit of a rebrand, maybe some fresh packaging, and market it as a very budget-friendly black and white film to get people back shooting black and white film, or just trying to save a little money shooting black and white film because it can get very expensive. You've been seeing some of the results go by as I've been talking here. The two lenses I used on my Pentax 645, this is the kit lens, so the 75mm f2.8, and I also used a 200mm f4. Both really good lenses, razor sharp. Just a great package, that 645. I love it. Yeah, what else can I say about this film other than it's fantastic and it's cheap? And I don't know why there's so much dust floating around in here. Maybe it's because I have my furnace on, but it's just... I don't see myself really buying different black and white film other than Kodak XX 522, because that is also a very beautiful film and it's reasonably affordable from Ultrafine Extreme online, Ultrafine online, whatever I put down below. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it might even be on here. No, why would it be? Their branding's terrible. If you're looking for a budget-friendly black and white film that is excellent, dollar for dollar, I believe it is the best value in black and white film, and honestly one of the best black and white films you can buy. The fact that it's affordable is just like a super good bonus that I don't know, I think you guys should take advantage of. If you're watching this channel, you probably shoot film. Maybe you don't, and if you want to, great place to start without spending a ton of money. Now, before I go anywhere, I'm going to give a bit of a channel update. I've got some new gear I'm going to be reviewing, give you an update on what I've been doing, where I've been, and some other stuff that's happened around here. So hang on, I got to go grab something from upstairs. All right, so maybe you guys have noticed I've been a little bit quiet lately, and that's because I was away. My daughter and I went to Disneyland last week to go see the new Star Wars land, Galaxy's Edge. As a lifelong Star Wars fan, I was in absolute heaven. It is incredible. I didn't make any content while I was there. I brought a couple cameras with me, didn't use them, just brought my phone with me, took a couple of quick snaps. I just wanted to enjoy myself and actually take a vacation, which was wonderful. And I had a great time, just me and my daughter. Unfortunately, my wife couldn't come. She's got some back issues, so it was just the two of us this time. But I will be heading on another trip, not this weekend, but the following weekend, a quick road trip to Portland, Oregon for what would be Remembrance Day weekend. I think it's Veterans Day in America, so we're going to spend a few days down there. And I have some new gear to review. The fine folks at Fujifilm Canada have sent me this Fujifilm X-A7 to review, which I think is great. You guys probably know what a big fan of the XA line of cameras that I am. I have an XA1 and an XA10. I've reviewed the XA3 and the XA5, and this camera is really interesting because of this. This is the first screen like this on a Fujifilm camera. Now I know you're going to say, Scott, what about the screen on the XT100. I did like that screen a lot because you could still tilt it out at the back and shoot over your head and down below, and it didn't stick way out of the side, but you could also flip it around to face forwards. It was a really complicated mechanism, and I understand why Fujifilm sort of abandoned it. I loved it, but I'm just going to have to let it go. This, on the other hand, is a very nice screen. You can see from the back, it's huge. It takes up almost the entire back of the camera. I do love that you can tuck it away to keep it from getting damaged. So I'm not going to go too much into this camera right now. I'm going to be taking this to Portland and making some content with it there. So look forward to that. What else has been going on? That's pretty much it. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge, whatever you want to call it. Unbelievably cool if you're a Star Wars fan. Like, it was like walking around in my childhood dreams, and just fantastic. So thanks for watching, guys. Oh, also big shout out to Petapixel and ISO 1200 magazine and DP Review for featuring my shutter sounds video. That was a fun video to make. It was just sort of hastily thrown together and ended up getting shared by all these big accounts, which was pretty darn cool. If you're here because of that video, I don't really have any more cameras to make shutter sounds with, but I'm going to try to add that if I review gear. What the shutter sounds like is going to be part of my reviews from now on, but I'm not going to do it with this Pentax 645 because I have a roll of film in here and I don't want to waste a frame. So that's it. Thanks for coming by, and I will see you guys in the next video.